welcome to Leading Organizations That Matter, a podcast about leadership and how we find impact, integration, meaning, and joy in our work. I'm Ray Spadoni, and today's topic is, you've just been asked to become Interim CEO. Now what? In addition to actually serving as the CEO of 3 organizations, I've also served in that same role as an interim. Probably doesn't matter much to my main point here, but in all 3 cases, I didn't actually seek the role. Rather, I was perceived as being the best person in that moment to take on the job. Right place, right time. If you find yourself in such a moment, having received that tap on the shoulder, then here are a few thoughts for you. First, be clear on whether you would like to be considered a candidate for the permanent role or not. If you want to use the time to sort that out, fine, but I recommend being upfront about this right from the get-go. The board will appreciate knowing how you feel about this, and you will appreciate knowing how they feel about you. Sometimes the board wants you to be the interim, but will desire a permanent leader with a different skill set. You should know this going in. Avoid surprises. Second, make sure that you understand what the board's true wishes are. I like to separate this into 2 distinct categories. There are shades of gray here, but you're going to want to know which side you're mostly on. Do they want you to A, facilitate senior management meetings, coordinate with the board, prevent surprises, convey calm throughout the organization, and essentially do no harm? Or B, do they want you to actually continue to advance the goals of the organization, make difficult decisions, deal with conflict, and truly lead? I refer to A as keeping the seat warm and B as acting like you really are the CEO. You have to know what the board is expecting, and just the mere fact that you bring up this question can help them think it through and decide if they're not sure. Many boards are not. If the board's asking you to keep the seat warm, they're going to need to understand that should it ever be necessary, it's going to be hard for you to pivot to hardcore decision-making mode. No one in the organization will be accustomed to you taking on that kind of role, and this could be difficult should a problem arise that requires real leadership and difficult decision-making. Additionally, the search process ought to hum along quickly. There's often a lot of white space and downtime in a search process, and some of this has to do with how aggressively the timeline is managed. If you're a seat warmer, then you want the permanent search to move along. Also, it's probably needless to say, you should only accept such a role if you are not interested in the permanent position. If you're in the B role, that is, acting like you really are the CEO, then you are going to need the board's ongoing support. There could be some in the organization, including maybe some members of the senior team, who are not going to want you to succeed for whatever reason. They might be biding time until the permanent person is named. They're waiting you out. For you to be successful in this type of an interim role, you are going to have to contend with conflict and make decisions, including some unpopular ones maybe, and maybe even deal with senior team performance problems. To prevent end runs to the board and other variants of political sideswiping, you are going to need to prepare the board in advance to have your back. If you can't get this type of support and commitment up front, I'd be very hesitant to take on such a role. This is one of those situations where some careful planning up front can prevent a world of hurt down the line. Thanks for listening. Leaving a positive review and letting others know about this podcast will help a great deal. My mission is to help empower organizations that matter by supporting those who lead them. I offer coaching, mentoring, and consulting services. You can learn more about me and my work at rayspadoni.com.